This video is a sequel to the video on how to speak Hong Kong English, where I will be sharing you 2 extra tricks to make this Hong Kong English speaking skill perfect. So after you guys have learned the first until the 4th tricks on how to speak Hong Kong English, I think you guys have a little grasp on how to speak it as perfect as possible. Let's do it in an entertaining way, alright? So for the 5th trick is to pronounce the words that end with ing. So when you pronounce the words that ends with ing, you have to start with a high pitch intonation and you end the ing pronunciation with a low pitch intonation. So you only do that if you were to say it at the end of the sentence. So for example, this word boring, Hong Kong people usually say it as boring. Boring. They start with the high intonation and end with a low pitch intonations. Boring. Morning. Building. Raining. And right now let's have some phrases with this kind of words. For example, very boring. Good morning. Good evening. Let's have some training. There are lots of painting. I like this building. This is very tiring. I love swimming. It is raining. So when you ask a Hong Kong people, let's say you're gonna ask him, what are you eating? So the eating is you start with the high pitch and you end with a low pitch intonation. Usually Hong Kong people, they will reply you, let's say, I'm eating noodles. I'm eating noodles. So did you notice the difference when I pronounced the word eating with 2 intonation? So this difference will come if you say the word that ends with ing before a noun or in the middle of the sentence. Basically, when you pronounce it, you just need to speak a very flat pitch intonation, just like a robot speaking in a flat pitch tone. For example, raining heavily, eating something, playing games, drinking alcohol, listening music, preparing presentation. So when you pronounce this word, you just have to keep it a very flat tone. So let's practice to differentiate these 2 intonations when you speak it in the middle of the sentence or when you speak it at the end of the sentence. For example, what are you eating? What are you eating? I'm eating noodle. I'm eating noodle. Where are you going? I'm going to the bank. I'm going to the bank. What are you playing? I'm playing computer games. I'm playing computer games. So are you getting it or you don't know what am I saying? So for this 6th trick, for this one I would like to say thank you for one of the comments left for the previous video that reminds me on this little but very significant trick on speaking Hong Kong English. So for the letter V, usually Hong Kong people pronounce it as W. For example, very, they will say it as very. Video as video. Vomit as vomit. Value as value. If you try to notice when I say very, I usually pronounce the V sound. Hong Kong people neglect the V sound. They will say as we. Just like we. Very and very. That's it. For those Hong Kong people, if you want to see whether you guys really make this kind of mistake, so just try this phrase. I'm very wary. Let's try it again. I'm very wary. So you can pronounce it correctly, you could avoid your mistake when speaking a proper English, alright? So I'm going to list out some of the phrases where Hong Kong people would say, for example, very boring. Let's start our adventure. This is inconvenient. I don't like your behavior. Let's go for a movie. I like your video. What is this device? Where are you living? So after learning all these tricks, I'm going to list out 9 phrases where you can easily notice that this is Hong Kong English. Alright? So the first one, today weather forecast say that it will be very wet and it will be raining heavily this evening. Where did you get that information? You need to verify the data because it is not valid. Where are you living? I would like to pay you a visit sometime. I'm very worried about you. Where have you been? Are you trying to avoid me? I'm not drinking strong alcohol like vodka anymore because I will vomit. I'm going to take vacation this December for Christmas. Do you want some souvenir? The taste and flavor is not good. Can you do me a favor to add some seasoning? I volunteer to have overtime schedule because I need more money. Living in Hong Kong is very convenient, but sometimes it's very tiring because there are lots of people. So what do you guys think about it? All these things are merely for entertaining for those Hong Kong people. If you guys can realize some of these tricks, you can just avoid speaking in that way, and from that you can just prevent your Hong Kong English. And for other people, this is just a good way to mingle with the local people in Hong Kong. So if you have any comment, just leave it at the section below. I'll see you in the next video.